Holy crap. I had a moment there where my stream sort of got interrupted for a second. Well, hey guys, you know why I'm here. Saturday, Wrestling Week in Review live stream. Don't have much time to do this. I want to get this done in at least an hour, maybe just 5 minutes past an hour. My phone's kind of at like 82% right now, so I'm trying to conserve my battery as much as I can. But let's get on with the show. We all know what show starts the week off. It's Monday Night Raw. After last week's Monday Night Raw episode, it has been now made official for Bad Blood Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Title. Whether or not Liv Morgan actually retains is up for debate. I was thinking going into this feud with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley after she came back from the injury, I just thought, I'm probably gonna, if Liv Morgan does retain, it's gonna be a surprise to me because I thought, Liv Morgan's holding that title simply because Rhea's not there. And once Rhea returns, they're gonna put the title right back on Rhea because they were never going to take the title off Rhea to begin with. She was supposed to hold on to it even until next WrestleMania, which some people might say, oh, they're copying Roman Reigns, but that's okay. She's not going to hold the title for like 3+ years. For like 3+ years. For almost 4 years. She's just holding it. Like Roman Reigns, he held his title for 4 straight WrestleManias. He main evented WrestleMania 21, 22, 23, and 24, all while WWE Undisputed Champion. So, but yeah, this match. Now there have also been rumors that Raquel Rodriguez will also return, and if she does return, I would like to see her back with Liv Morgan, potentially as a heel this time with Liv Morgan. I think that would just make more sense than anything else. I'm just going to up the brightness a little bit on my phone so you guys can see me just a little bit better. But yeah, the Judgment Day opened up the show. Damian Priest opened up the show. He wanted to have words with Finn Balor. This didn't really last very long because the Judgment Day eventually sneak attacked Damian Priest, as they always do. Then Rhea Ripley came out, attacked Liv Morgan, then attacked Dirty Dom with the crutch she had in her hand, she was using. But then Liv Morgan and then the Judgment Day got the better of Rhea Ripley eventually, and so that's how the opening segment ended, basically with the Judgment Day being beaten down the Terror Twins. Hey, thanks Jeffrey for sharing out my live stream. Anybody that comes into the live stream and wants to hit that like button, it's not required, but it is always appreciated. If any of you also want to share my live stream out, feel free to do that as well. I've got a couple of things that I got some things that I want to show you guys, but I'm just going to wait until Danny comes in because I'm going to wait until Danny comes in. The opening match, though. Oh, and for those who maybe don't know, I recently got me a new hat, and it's pretty cool. I like it. But I decided to wear a hat today because my hair is a little messed up, so I wanted to just make sure my hair didn't look. I just didn't want you guys to have to see my unpresentable hair. Which is great because I like wearing hats anyway, so this was a perfect excuse for me. Thank you guys for the 3 likes. Let's go. Let's get it up to 5, maybe 10. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The opening match was American Made. Well, before that, we got a video package detailing the feud between American Made that is comprised of Chad Gable, Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus Creed, and Ivy Nile. This was a review of the feud and how we got to this moment, which was an 8-person mixed tag team match. It was also a street fight, so anything goes. And so this was a fun match, though. It lasted about 17 minutes, which is very long, which is kind of long, but it was good. We got a bunch of entertaining spots. We even got a spot where I think it was Eric Rowan had a piece of the barricade had ripped off part of the barricade near where the timekeeper's area is, and he just used it, and he decided to just use it as a weapon against the American Made, which I thought was pretty neat. But yeah, this match lasted about 17 minutes. Wyatt Six actually got the win, which I don't know why I don't know, but let's move American Made to something different. We do not need any more matches between these teams, and I think it's better if American Made just stay away from Wyatt Six from now on. But after this, we got a backstage segment with Braun Breaker. He actually had quite a few backstage segments leading up to tonight's main event. That night's main event, which was to be a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental title, held by Braun Breaker. The first person he talked to was Braun Strowman. He did not win the match, mainly because of outside interference from a certain Bronson Reed, who decided, if I couldn't be in this match, I'm going to make sure that Braun Strowman doesn't win. Now, I know that what we got, the reason we got for Bronson Reed being taken out of this tournament was that he had COVID. But, I mean, yes, he might have had COVID. That might have been the reason. But they also might have had a second reason for wanting to keep him out of this tournament, and that is to keep his presentation spotless. Because recently, Bronson Reed has been getting a lot of major wins and has been booked like an absolute beast over the last few weeks. And he was not going to win this match. He was not going to win this match, fatal 4-way match. So I figured, I understand now why they might have taken him out, because they didn't want him to lose this. Yeah, I know. Jeffrey's been on my live streams before, and I've seen him on other people's channels. Oh, Danny, for a split second, I want to deviate from my regularly scheduled live stream to show you guys some things that I got this past Tuesday. You will not believe, Danny, what I got. Like, literally. If you haven't been to a Big Lots within the last week or so, within the last month or so, I highly suggest it, because you will not believe what they had. Because it's in... Okay. These are all... I don't know if you're still here, Danny, but I found these at Big Lots this past Tuesday when I went out with my dad. This is a best pay-per-view matches for 2012. $7.99. Well, hey, there are quite a few in Virginia, and me and my dad went to one on Tuesday when we went out, and I found this. This one is a best pay-per-view matches of 2012. $7.99 originally, $17.73. So I'm like, wow. I found this one as well, which is a Batista, sort of like a documentary, kind of like his I'm Not Alone. Unlike the other one I have of him, that's the I'm Not Alone DVD. This one has way more matches on it than the other one has that I've already got. This just is about his return to WWE in 2014, leading up to the Royal Rumble match that he won. And then this has the Royal Rumble match on it, the 2014 Royal Rumble match on it. And then even has a match from 2014 against Alberto Del Rio at Elimination Chamber. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I found this Night of Champions 2013. They had so many of these like pay-per-views on here that I couldn't decide which one I wanted, but I got this one, Night of Champions 2013. And then they had this one, Hell in a Cell 2011. This was really cool. This is of the ones that I bought this week. This is the first one I saw, and then I've seen the Batista DVD, although I haven't seen all the matches on it. But I found this. I've watched it. It was pretty cool. But for some reason, I still to this day don't know why were Miz and R-Truth fired. Why were Miz and R-Truth fired? Because the running gag throughout this show was that Miz and R-Truth were fired, and they had bought tickets for the show, and then in the main event, which was the Triple Threat Hell in a Cell match, they got involved in the match at one point, and like, I don't know what happened. I have to look it up to see what happened, storyline wise. And then I also found these I actually found at a Goodwill, and I'm surprised I found them there when I did. This is TLC 2009, the very first TLC, and you can see it is still sealed with wrapping. And I found Extreme Rules 2013, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H inside of a steel cage. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I hit the jackpot. Guys. And for those of you who maybe don't know, I have a second channel where I do Goodwill finds videos each month, and all 6 of these DVDs will be there on the channel, and I will do a video for these 6 DVDs and anything else I may have gotten this month. So be on the lookout for that. Now back onto the show, because I'm taking way too much time. We got LWO backstage following this Braun Strowman backstage moment. We got the LWO backstage. They talked about the Judgment Day, and Rey Mysterio challenged Finn Balor to a match later on in the show, which we did get. But then we had a backstage moment with Damage Control and Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They would defend their titles against the Unholy Union later on in the show. But oh, shut up. And Mox, I know it's you, so go to hell. Oh, and Mox, how do you feel about the whole Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu match? Yes. Hell has frozen over, people. Hell has frozen over, people. We are getting a Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns tag team in 2024. Cue all the Roman Reigns fanboys crying in unison over over Roman Reigns tag teaming with a quote-unquote mid-carder, who also just happens to be the world champion. Well, yeah, he does, because Solo Sikoa and, Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline took Roman Reigns out a number of weeks ago with ease. So, yeah, Roman Reigns needs help. And he's got Cody Rhodes, so keep crying about it. Then we got a 6-woman tag match. Pure Fusion Collective. Still hate this name. I don't know what people were thinking when they were coming up with a name for this faction of Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. But this name just doesn't do it for me. And I know a lot of people are in the same boat as me. They don't like this name. Like, they could have chosen any other name but this. But they had a match with Zelina Vega, Lyra Valkyria, and a mystery opponent, and as soon as I heard that this Monday Night Raw would be in Calgary, I immediately knew who the mystery tag team partner was. And I was right. It was Natalya. Calgary, Alberta, Canada is Hart country. Bret Hart is from Calgary. Obviously, they were going to have Natalya on the show. And her team actually does pick up the win in a 7-minute, 30-minute match that was okay. It was just there because Natalya's from Calgary. Not saying it was a bad match, but it was what it was. It was just there. It was there for Natalya to make her return. But then I also am like, oh wait, she has some history with Shayna Baszler as well. Also makes a little bit of sense because she has some history with Shayna Baszler, being that they were in a tag team at one point before that tag team partnership dissolved. It is what it is. We got Dragon Lee versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. This match lasted no more than 4 minutes, 30 seconds. This was a bit of a squash match. But it is what it is. Judgment Day were actually booked pretty strongly today on this episode. Natalya was backstage. She had a backstage moment when she hugged her uncle Bret Hart. Because then we go out into the next segment, which is Bret Hart. He made his return to WWE television for the first time. I don't know in how long. But he got a segment that involved Gunther, and there was a moment that made me like, oh my gosh, Gunther is definitely a heel, and is definitely a badass heel now, because he would tell Bret Hart that Bret Hart is his second favorite, and that his number one favorite just happened to be the guy that Bret Hart hates more than anything else, Bill Goldberg. And immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, the fact that Gunther had the balls to say that in front of Bret Hart's face, that he likes Bill Goldberg more than Bret, that was honestly, I liked that. I liked that moment very much. Sami Zayn then interrupts and again challenged Gunther for a match for the world title. Gunther still decided to say no. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm responding to a friend. Come on, hurry up. Okay. Well, okay. That was just a friend of mine was messaging me on Messenger, so I just was responding to him. Yeah. Yeah, Gunther again said no, flat out no. Bret Hart then decided to call out Gunther for being a coward for refusing Sammy's challenge. I mean, I think it's obvious we're getting this match. Though this time I think Sami Zayn will not beat Gunther for the world title. Okay. We got DMs like Adam Pearce. Oh yeah, we got a segment with Adam Pearce, Drew McIntyre. Adam Pearce wanted to inform Drew McIntyre that his feud with CM Punk has to end, and it has to end now. So Drew McIntyre, and that the final match between them will take place at Bad Blood, and it will take place inside a Hell in a Cell, and I'm excited for that match. Should be great. We also got Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio. This match lasted about 6 minutes. Here's what it is. It was a really good match. It was a really good match. It was kind of a good match, but it also was a bit of a. It also ended in a DQ finish, and Finn Balor had Rey Mysterio, at least one of Rey Mysterio's legs trapped in the ropes, and he refused to break the hold on 5, so the referee had to disqualify him. But I think it was kind of nice to see him being booked like a badass on this episode of Monday Night Raw. He will also have a match against Damian Priest at Bad Blood. That match should also be good. Oh, shut up, Moxley. Get out of here. You're not welcome here, so go. We also got the Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill facing off against Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. This is a rematch from Bash in Berlin for the women's tag titles, although this time Bianca and Jade are the champions facing off against the challengers. They won this match in about 9 minutes. Was what it was. I did not know if this was going to be if Alba Fire and Isla Dawn were going to win the titles back, leading to a heel turn from Bianca or Jade, but I'm guessing they're not doing that just yet. I don't know when we're doing that, but it's going to have to happen sooner rather than later. But it is what it is. The main event of Raw was a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for Braun Breaker's Intercontinental title. We got Ilya Dragunov, Jey Uso, Braun Strowman, and Pete Dunne. I was actually thinking that Ilya Dragunov would win this match. I knew it was either Jey Uso or Ilya Dragunov. I knew it was either one of the two. It had to be one of the two, and it turned out to be Jey Uso. At one point, though, Braun Strowman, I'm guessing, was about to do one of his signature moves, I think to Pete Dunne, but Bronson Reed decided to get involved in this match, taking out Braun Strowman, basically making him a non-factor in this match, which I thought was pretty genius that they had him interfere in the match, because I'm guessing he's not done with Braun Strowman, and I still don't know if he's gonna come after Miz anytime soon, because he even told Miz a couple of weeks ago that I'm still not done with you. So who knows? But yeah, this match went about 17 minutes. Jey Uso won, which I'm happy for. I don't think he's going to win the title. It's obviously not going to be... He's obviously not going to win the title. He's going to be going over to SmackDown to feud with his family, the Bloodline. So that's going to be what's keeping him occupied for the next... after this match, basically. But hey, that was it from Monday Night Raw. If I had to rate Monday Night Raw, I would rate it a 7 out of 10. It was a very good show. 7.5 maybe. Very good show. Perfect? No, but it was very good. It was very good. Now to NXT. NXT was also a pretty decent show this week. We got the in-ring debut of the newest signing, one of the newest signings to WWE, Giulia. Now, from what I've heard as of late, the Motor City Machine Guns, who were a tag team in TNA, they are now free. They were free agents, but it does look like they have officially signed with WWE, and they are set to make their NXT debut on the season premiere of that show on CW, which I am more than excited for. I will be watching it. I will watch the CW is one of those channels that I used to watch. I used to watch like religiously back when they had all those great TV shows on there that I loved, like the superhero shows, Supergirl, like Arrow, Flash, all those shows, and then they had a bunch of other shows that I just loved. Now it just seems like there's nothing on CW that I like, except for the Connors. But yes, I'll be watching the season premiere of NXT on CW. Should be a good show. Should be a great show. CM Punk is going to be... I think CM Punk's going to be there because because it's in Chicago. We got a video package detailing Giulia's rise to WWE, and she is going to be, I think she's going to win the title off of Roxanne Perez. I feel like that's what they're just going to have. They're going to have her win the title against Roxanne Perez, I'm hoping. Not that I haven't been liking Roxanne Perez as champion. I think this has been a great run. I just didn't expect her to hold the title this long. I thought they were going to have her win the title and then drop it maybe to whoever. I mean, I do feel like they're prepping Giulia to take the title from her, but I just feel like maybe she was supposed to do it a lot sooner, but then she, I think, got injured, so they had to delay her debut a little bit. But they're just devoting so much time and effort into promoting Giulia. I feel like that's just the way they're going, is they're just going to have her win the title from Roxanne. Yes. But opening NXT, we had a tag team match. Axiom and Nathan Frazier defending their tag team titles against the Street Profits. This match was supposed to have the Rascals, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz, but because they won a triple threat match last week, but they were attacked prior to this episode of NXT, so we apparently got the Street Profits as their replacements. This match was very good, went about 10 minutes. But the ending of the match saw the bloodline of Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa get involved, caused a DQ win for the Street Profits. I think it was Axiom and Nathan Frazier because they attacked Street Profits first. But they laid out everybody, including the tag team champions of Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Now, afterwards, though, after NXT, though, I heard that Axiom, I think it was Nathan Frazier, said that Axiom and Nathan Frazier would like to offer up their services to the tribal chief. And then he clarified saying the original tribal chief, meaning Roman Reigns. I'm like, oh, okay, so Nathan Frazier's brave, braver than I would be in that situation. But it was surprising to see the bloodline in NXT, and I guess that's one of the main. But the main reason why NXT has been so good recently is that you never know who's gonna show up. After this, we got a Trick Williams interview before his main event match, which was against Pete Dunne. This was to be a last man standing match for a opportunity at Ethan Page's NXT Championship on the debut of NXT on CW. Won't spoil who won until I get to the main event. Then we got a segment involving Ora Mensa and Lexis King. They've been feuding as of late. Lexis King was, I'm guessing, was getting a haircut at his barbershop until Ora Mensa decided to crash proceedings. I'm guessing they're going to have another match against each other, and we'll see what happens from there. We got a video package from Wendy Chu, and I'm guessing her new friend, I guess you could say Rosemary, TNA Knockouts superstar Rosemary. I'm guessing they're in a partnership. They had a message for Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. Lyra Valkyria appeared on NXT last week, which was surprising for me. She came out to help out her friend Tatum Paxley, which was surprising, but then again, knowing their history, made sense. It's just that they didn't end things, and they made it. Afterwards, when they were backstage, she basically made it clear, hey, I know things didn't end well between us, but Tatum didn't care. She was just glad that Lyra was back, and her friend was back. We also got an interview from Ethan Page. He talked about the main event between Pete Dunne and Trick Williams, which is to determine who faces him at the premiere of NXT on CW. He said he didn't care who won this match, but as we see in the main event match, he almost tries to make sure Pete Dunne wins. So in reality, I think he sort of did care. But he was trying to make it seem like he didn't care. But I think we all knew he did not want Trick Williams to win. We got Oba Femi in a match. He was taking on a superstar of Tony D'Angelo's choosing. Earlier on in the day, we saw Tony D apparently talking to somebody behind a door. We didn't know who it was. Some people were saying Omos, some people were saying Moose, but apparently, and it was a TNA superstar though who accepted the challenge from Tony D'Angelo, and it was TNA superstar Alex Hammerstone. I don't know him that much, but I've seen him in NXT and TNA maybe once or twice since he signed, and he is really good. He's really good. He's definitely a man who is strong enough to handle Oba Femi with ease, but Oba Femi was able to win this match in about 7 minutes, and it was a pretty decent match between two big, strong men, and Oba Femi won again, which was obviously going to happen. We got A little backstage promo from Duke Hudson and Chase U. Duke Hudson was mad at Ridge Holland, not just for what he did to Mr. Chase, to Andre Chase, but what he did to the classroom and his trophy, which has now broken. They had a match. Duke Hudson and Ridge Holland had a match that went about 5 minutes. Was a bit of a squash match, but it was what it was. We also got Julia. This match ended with Ridge Holland getting the win, and he just went and attacked the rest of Chase. He laid out Duke Hudson, much like he did to Andre Chase at No Mercy. Was what it was. We got Julia taking on Chelsea Green. This match went about 7 minutes, and it was pretty decent showcase. And for having never seen Julia compete ever, this was a very good match, and I'm already starting to like her. And if they put the title on her on the premiere of NXT on CW, I won't be mad at that. I won't be mad. We also got a backstage segment with Julia with Roxanne Perez talking. They just went back and forth about their match on like I said, the premiere of NXT on CW. Now Julia had a translator with her, and it was none other than Funaki, former SmackDown superstar and former Cruiserweight champion Funaki, which I thought was pretty neat because I've watched some SmackDown episodes during like the 2002, 2003, 2004 era with like John Wood. Mainly because I'm just a fan of John Cena, and I loved his character from that time period, the Doctor of Thugonomics. And I kind of liked Funaki, and they had a match together at one time on SmackDown, which wasn't very long at all. Well, that was pretty neat that they had Funaki up here. We also had a segment involving Ava Raine, and she apparently was on the phone with CM Punk, who is now scheduled to be on the show next week. He will have a message, I'm guessing something to say on the next week's episode of NXT. So that's good. And before Jordan Grace came out to have her match, Wes Lee sent a message to Zachary Wentz, and like I said when Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz were unable to compete for the NXT Tag Team titles on this episode of NXT, I immediately knew who was responsible, Wes Lee, and we got the confirmation here from Wes Lee himself. You know why you're not here going for the tag titles, because I took out Trey Miguel. And he made the challenge for Zachary Wentz in a street fight on the premiere episode of NXT on CW, so we'll begin that match. Then we got the match between Jordan Grace, and she was issuing an open challenge for her TNA title, Knockouts World title. The challenger happened to be Sol Ruca, which I thought was pretty cool. I think Sol Ruca is one of the better women in NXT right now, besides maybe Roxanne Perez, Julia, and a select few others, like I guess maybe Thea Hale and but yeah, we got this was a decent match. Went about 7 minutes 12, but it was a decent match between the two of them. We also got Charlie Dempsey versus Javon Evans for the Heritage Cup. This match lasted 13 minutes, and it was one of the best matches on the card. Besides the Jordan Grace and Sol Ruca match, this was also another match. I mean, Oba Femi and Alex Hammerstone was a good match. Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus Street Profits was a good match, despite the interference from Bloodline. We got some really good matches this week, on this week's NXT. And this was another good match. One of the better matches on the show, even though all the matches were good. This match went about 13 minutes. And, oh, hey, Everbless. Any of you guys that are just now coming in, if you want to hit that like button, feel free to do so. Never required, but I would appreciate it. Now, it was Ron Evans. Charlie Dempsey did win the match via interference from a returning Tavion Heights. I'm not sure where he's been. Apparently, someone was telling me that he was in Japan, but I don't know. Also thought he was fired at one point as well. I don't know why, but he's back. He helped Charlie Dempsey retain the title. It is what it is. It was a good match. Yeah, it's okay, Everboss. I appreciate you showing up today. Also, we got the main event match, last man standing match between Pete Dunne and Trick Williams for a shot at the NXT title on the premiere episode of NXT on CW. Been plugging that a lot lately, but a lot of what we saw today, this week, had implications for that show. We got, obviously, Ethan Page tried to get involved a number of times in Pete Dunne's favor because even though he said earlier on he didn't care who he faced. I think we all know he did not want to face Trick Williams. But Trick Williams was obviously going to win this match. Pete Dunne has problems with Sheamus. So he was not going to win. So Trick Williams won in about 13 minutes. This was good. Last minute standing match. NXT was a good show. If I had to rate it out of 10, 7 out of 10. It was a very good show. But this, then on to AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no one cares about Trump. But we're not here to talk about politics. I'm not here to talk about politics. You guys can talk about whatever you want in this live chat. I'm not gonna stop you guys. But the opening of the show started out with a Jon Moxley message. He had a message for Darby Allin. He's been wanting to talk to Darby Allin as of late. Why, I don't know, but we got that answer later on in the show. The Patriarchy, though, they opened up the show. Christian Cage was holding his contract that he won at the Casino Gauntlet match at All In, which guarantees him a shot at the world title whenever he wants. It's basically AEW's version of Money in the Bank. It's basically a Money in the Bank contract. Young Fro, I don't know who you are, but thank you for coming, I guess. But yes, Jon Moxley. But yeah, he said that Christian Cage made it clear that he will be the next. He is the next AEW World Champion. Whether he actually retains, whether he actually wins the title after cashing in his contract, after cashing in his title match, we'll see. Yeah, me too. I'm tired of him too, but he's not gonna stop coming over here on my live streams with his fake accounts. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna stop. But I'm not gonna talk about him. I haven't talked about him, and I haven't had any reason to talk about him in at least weeks. Not since Matt's last live stream that he did before he went on vacation. I haven't had reason to go over to his channel. Or anything. And yeah. The opening match of the night was Jack Perry defending his TNT title against Lio Rush. Apparently Lio Rush made a challenge to Jack Perry on Collision the other night, on last Saturday's Collision before All Out, right before All Out. No, the Friday, which was Friday for tonight. So he decided to. So this match went about 7 minutes. It was okay, but it wasn't like it was anything special. Leo Rush is a good wrestler, just misused, I think, like a lot of PW talent are. We got after this we were supposed to have a tag team, a trios match, Commander and Private Party versus I can't remember who they were facing, but this match didn't get underway because the BCC, or I guess you could say the new BCC, made their presence felt. And this again, Moxley called out Darby Allin. I don't know who you are, Young Fro, but be careful. We got this segment. This segment was one of the best things about SmackDown, about Dynamite this week. Jon Moxley made it clear that Bryan Danielson, because of his attack on Bryan Danielson this past Saturday at All Out, he would not be able to defend his title, his AEW World Championship at Grand Slam, which was to be against Darby Allin. And then Jon Moxley proceeds to tell Darby Allin, you don't deserve that title opportunity, I do. And then just proceeds to challenge Darby Allin for a match at Grand Slam with his world title shot on the line. And I'm guessing they're going to have Moxley win this match, because they seem to be pushing Jon Moxley at the moment. They seem to be pushing Jon Moxley, which... So I don't know what's going to happen. After this, we got a match between Ricochet and Sammy Guevara. This match was pretty darn good, actually. One of the better matches on the show. It lasted about 10 minutes. And this was good. This was a little bit better than what we got the previous week with Ricochet and Kyle Fletcher, but it was still good. So it is what it is. Ricochet won this match. So see what happens with Ricochet going forward. We're backstage. We got a Hangman Adam Page was being interviewed backstage by Renee Paquette. I don't know what's going to happen with Hangman Adam Page following his feud ending with Swerve Strickland, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens, what they do with Hangman Adam Page leading into this after this feud is ended. But afterwards, we got Hangman Adam Page attacking Jeff Jarrett afterwards as he was leaving his interview with Renee. He gets interrupted by Jeff Jarrett, and then he starts brawling with Jeff Jarrett, and I don't know if they're going to have a match together, but it could happen. And I'm doing just great, Austin. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking that. We also got a. After this, we got a segment with Nigel McGuinness. Apparently Nigel McGuinness is back in a wrestling capacity. I'm guessing he can now wrestle. He's cleared because I think he retired a couple years ago, a long time ago. Like, I don't know how long it's been since he's wrestled, since he quote unquote retired, but he was in the Casino Gauntlet match at All In, which was pretty darn good. And it was good to see him in that match. It was good to see him in that match because I have never seen Nigel McGuinness wrestle, and he didn't look that bad. He didn't look that bad anyway. That bad to begin. I'm gonna be completely honest. But here's where things get sticky. He challenged Bryan Danielson to a match at All In, at Grand Slam. And the match as of right now is being advertised as if Bryan Danielson is cleared to wrestle. Now, in the prior segment with Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, Jon Moxley basically states flat out, that Bryan Danielson is not appearing at Grand Slam, period. But then we get Nigel McGuinness cutting a promo, wanting a match against Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam. That makes no sense. It basically makes what Jon Moxley said in the previous segment sound like a complete lie, like he was lying to us. I don't know what's going on here, but make it make sense somewhat. At least make it make sense. I don't know what they're doing, but hey. Oh, okay. Well, but yeah, I don't know. We got a match between Queen Aminata and Mariah May. This is a AEW Women's Title Eliminator match. If Queen Aminata wins this match, she gets a eventual AEW Women's Title shot. She did not win this match. This match went about 7 minutes, and Mariah May wins the match. Was what it was. It was okay. It was what it was. Oh, okay. Okay, Austin. Well, I appreciate you being here. We got a another trios match. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, Brian Keith versus Iron Savages and Jameson. This match went about 6 minutes. Was a bit of a squash match. But hey, it is what it is. Heels win the match. Chris Jericho's in a feud with Orange Cassidy. And it is what it is. I'll just say what it is. We got a backstage promo from Grizzled Young Veterans, who were originally from NXT. They are now in AEW, apparently. They had a message for the tag team division. They had a message for FTR, who they will be facing later on tonight on Collision. And that should be interesting. But then the main event was the Casino Gauntlet Tag Team match. Features a bunch of tag teams all vying for a future shot at the AEW Tag Team titles. This was won by Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. As soon as, obviously, early on in the show, we had the backstage moment with Will Ospreay and the Don Callis family. Don Callis said that he was asking for a favor from Will Ospreay. He wanted to win the AEW Tag Team titles, and he wanted Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay to enter the Gauntlet match. They did, and this is how we got the match. As soon as that was made, as soon as Will agreed to be in this Gauntlet match with his best friend, Kyle Fletcher, I should have known that they were going to win the match, because So far, Will Ospreay is undefeated in gauntlet matches, and I should have realized. I mean, they had some actual tag teams in this match, and they decided to give it to a team that was just made on the fly on this show. I don't know. This episode of AEW Dynamite was a hot mess. Some of it was good, some of it was not good, but it is what it is. If I were to rate AEW Dynamite this week, it would be a 6 out of 10. Some of it was good, but majority of it was like unforgettable. Was forgettable. Now on to SmackDown, the premiere of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. This was a Dynamite show from start to finish. Triple H opened the show. He talked about the premiere of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox, talked about this being 25 years since SmackDown made its debut. The show opened up with Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa in a steel cage match for the undisputed WWE Championship. This match lasted about 16 minutes and was a very, very good steel cage match. We did not get any interference from the Bloodline, though, which I thought was good. I thought we needed this match to stay clean, and it did. And granted, it did, so that was good. Cody Rhodes won the match. After the match, though, obviously, Bloodline was like, you may have won the match, but we're not done with you. But then we got the return of Roman Reigns. He returned, attacked the Bloodline. And it was a great opening match, a great post-match segment with Roman Reigns and company. So it is what it is. It is what it is. After this, we got a video package. We got a video package featuring some of the best moments from the 25 years of SmackDown. We even got apparently some celebrities from SmackDown's past on tonight's show. We got superstars like RVD, which is girlfriend. They were in attendance. Booker T was in attendance. He is a commentator now for NXT, but he was on this show. He was on this show in the audience with his wife, Sharmell. And a rather controversial name was in attendance. We had Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me. Yeah, excuse Vicky Guerrero, who apparently decided to halt supporting her husband in her. It's complete drama what's going on with Vicky Guerrero and her family, but she appeared on the show. Interesting. Interesting that she was there. After this, we got a match between Piper Niven and Michin. This was a bit of a squash match. 2 minutes. So this match lasted about 2 minutes. Michin got the win. And afterwards, though, Chelsea Green just comes in and just attacks Michin. Was this needed on the show? No. We got Nia Jax segment. She started talking about her potential opponent for Bad Blood. Oh, hey Nate, it's okay. It's okay that you're late. I I'm trying to keep this live stream under an hour, at least an hour, maybe an hour 5 minutes at the most. And thank you guys for the 8 likes. I do appreciate that. We got Nia Jax came out to address her potential opponent for Bad Blood. Out comes Bayley. Then Tiffany Stratton comes out. She is in like full Tiffy mode. She said that the only reason why she lost to Bayley last week was because Nia Jax got involved. That didn't look like Nia didn't seem too happy about that. So that sort of backfired on her a little bit. But hey, I don't know if we're getting a rematch between Nia Jax and Bayley at Bad Blood, but it could be happening. And I think we all know Tiffany Stratton is for sure cashing in her briefcase on Nia Jax. It's happening. It's going to happen, and it's going to have to happen pretty soon rather than later, because I don't know if I can stand Nia Jax with the title any longer. I know what his channel is, but I don't go there anymore. I haven't had a reason to go to his channel in weeks. In at least a month. I haven't had a reason to go to his channel in a long time, and I'm glad, because I don't want to have to think about him anymore. But he still comes onto my channel every now and then to troll, so I feel like I can't get rid of him. I guess I can't get rid of him. We got Roman Reigns and Nick Aldis were backstage. He wanted to talk about Bad Blood, and he wanted to have a tag team match against Solos, and apparently Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu have asked for a tag team match of Bad Blood against Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns went to talk to Nick Aldis about the match. Cody Rhodes. Then we had another backstage segment with Cody Rhodes apparently telling Nick Aldis, I'm done. I'm done with the bloodline. And I mean, I agree. I fully understand that Cody Rhodes wants to be done with the bloodline. I can understand why he wants to be done with the bloodline, but as long as Solo Sikoa and the rest of the new bloodline keep coming after him, he's not going to be done with the new bloodline. It's not going to be over, because they're not going to let it be over. So they were like, So after this, we got a match between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. This was the final match, and I'm guessing what is now being referred to as their best of 5 series. Not technically for a shot at the United States title. Andrade wins the match in about 10 minutes. Great match as always. It was a great match as always. And so Andrade wins the match. LA Knight then comes out and basically says to Andrade, oh, okay, Andrade, because of what you said last week about wanting a shot at my title, since you won this match, I'll give you a shot at my title. And so next week, we'll be getting Andrade versus LA Knight. I'm guessing Carmelo Hayes is not going to let Andrade win. So, I mean, it is what it is. But then we got Kevin Owens and a mystery partner versus A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They had a little bit of a fun moment before the match took place, where apparently his mystery partner wasn't there to begin at first, so he picked out a guy named Ricky. Don't even know who he is. And now people are starting to have a little fun over Ricky getting stunned by Kevin Owens. But then his mystery partner did show up, and it was Randy Orton, which was obvious when this match was made official last week. But it was a good little 13-minute match. Obviously, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton won. We got a backstage segment right before the main event with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill. They talked about defending their titles successfully on Monday Night Raw and how they're willing to defend these titles anytime, anywhere, any place, whether it's on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. They don't care. They want to defend their titles anywhere. Imagine we get them on TNA. I know that most of what we've been seeing on TNA between the TNA-W partnership is just NXT, but imagine if they allowed main roster talent to go over to TNA. Like, imagine Bianca Belair versus Jordan Grace in an actual match, and not what we got at the Royal Rumble, which was just a small showcase of their talents, of them together. I thought that would be pretty cool. Then Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton sort of interrupt, and Nia Jax proceeded to say, "I beat both of you to become Queen of the Ring, so you may have the women's tag team titles, but SmackDown is my kingdom." Oh, hey, Maroney, you here? Because I'm going to show you some stuff that I got this week. I found this. I don't know if you have any of these, but I found this. TLC 2009. Extreme Rule. Oh, wait. I already showed you. I forgot I already showed you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Maroney. Well, I hope you get better. I totally forgot that I already showed you these. I just remembered I took a picture of all of them and showed them to you. That's main event. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns had a message for the Bloodline. The running gag throughout this show was whether or not Cody Rhodes would actually sign the contract for the tag team match at Bad Blood. But eventually, after being attacked by the Bloodline yet again, Cody Rhodes decided, I want to be done with the Bloodline, but I can't. As long as they keep attacking me, I can't just sit by and just let them attack me. So yes, he signed the contract, and yes, we are getting it. Hell has frozen over. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Yes, we're getting the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns tag team after, for months and months and months, people were like, it'll never happen. Roman Reigns will never associate himself with a mid-carder. Well, now we're getting it, so I hope you guys are happy. Well, actually, most of you guys are probably crying right now. No, he's not a heel. He's a face. Obviously, he's seeking revenge on the Bloodline, not only for stealing his Ula Fowl and stealing his title tribal chief, but because of what they did to Paul Heyman. So he is a face. And Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are the top two baby faces in WWE. Right now, LA Knight would be a close third. Jey Uso probably number 4. And even Trick Williams is probably the number 5 babyface in WWE because he's so popular in NXT. But this was a good SmackDown opener season premiere. I'd graded a 8 out of 10, the best show of the week by far. And so, it is what it is. And now it's going to have to be time for me to end this live stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream. I know I love going live for you guys. Yeah, I know, he kind of didn't want Cody Rhodes' help. but he needs Cody Rhodes' help. What? I don't think he actually. No, I don't think he would have. I don't know. I don't know what he said about the show, but I thought it was good. Even though I didn't actually see it, I was able to watch the highlights of it on WWE Matches YouTube channel, so I was able to see it for myself, and it was a very good show. Minus the whole Michin Piper Niven match, which was like, ugh. I would give it a 8 out of 10. Okay, well, I'll see you guys later, and until next time, peace. Bye, guys.